Low-carb diets continue to grow in popularity because they get results. But this growing popularity opens the door to confusion and weight loss challenges that we have not seen in the past. If you are following a low-carb diet but not losing as you expect, one of these low-carb food mistakes may be halting your progress. I explain in this video. When you follow a low-carb, high-fat diet, you get to enjoy many hearty and savory foods. Because animal-based foods are naturally lower in carbohydrates, you can enjoy a good steak dinner and add cheese and creamy ingredients to lower fat foods like chicken, fish, and vegetables. But like with any diet, there are some foods that you must avoid. For low-carb dieters, these foods include starchy vegetables like potatoes and grains like buns and bread. These high-carb foods, especially when refined or mixed with fat and salt, have an addictive nature, making them hard to live without. So it is human nature to seek out low-carb solutions. And this brings me to my first low-carb food fail that I will call recipe reality. There are many amazing food bloggers that have come up with innovative and delicious low-carb recipes. But when you are looking for recipes, you want to have a buyer beware mindset. Make sure that you are paying attention to things like the number of servings and the number of carbohydrates being reported. Let me share an example with you. This is a rutabaga. It is a versatile vegetable that is often touted as a lower carb alternative for potatoes. And this is true. When we compare 100-gram servings, we see that a rutabaga contains about half of the carbs of a potato. It also tastes pretty good when it is fried up like a French fry. However, here are two questions to ask yourself when you are looking at rutabaga fry recipes. What is the serving size, and do you trust the carb count? Some recipes do not tell you the weight of the rutabaga. When I picked this one up at the grocery store, I chose the smallest one available. It weighs more than 34 ounces, which is about 1,000 grams, and has 84 grams of carbohydrates in it. This recipe doesn't specify the size, but states that it serves 4 people. Now, 1/4 of this rutabaga contains about 24 carbohydrates. However, the recipe reports only 9 carbs per serving, meaning that they likely used a much smaller vegetable. And even if the size of the rutabaga is reported, you want to make sure that the math works out and that one serving is what feels natural to eat. For instance, this recipe serves 8 and calls for 2 24-ounce rutabagas. According to Cronometer, 48 ounces of rutabaga contains 117 carbs. Since the recipe serves 8, one serving should equal close to 15 grams of total carbohydrates. However, the recipe states that there are only 8 total carbs per serving. Now, I'm not saying that this is being reported this way to deceive people, but there is a buyer beware element when it comes to searching for low-carb recipes. Also, one serving is approximately 10 fries. It's hard to stop at 10, so carbs and calorie intake can creep up easily. The bottom line is this: if you are using an ingredient that you haven't used in the past, it pays to trust your source and to enter the recipe ingredients into a trustworthy nutritional tracking platform so you can make your own calculations. I prefer Cronometer because their nutrition facts are from nutritional databases rather than entered and shared by users, which can introduce errors. In fact, Cronometer is the nutrition tracking tool that I use to create recipes for my programs. The next low-carb food fail that can halt your progress is not defeating your sweet tooth. Sugar is a carbohydrate, and it is the first thing to go in any diet. However, sugar is an addictive substance. When you first cut it out of your diet, there is a good chance that you will experience sugar cravings. Most people find that sugar cravings diminish the longer they are away from sugar and refined carbohydrates. And in my opinion, this is one of the rewards of low-carb dieting because you no longer feel controlled by junk food. When you can easily say no to a sweet treat sitting right in front of you, you significantly increase your odds of long-term weight control. However, to get to that point, you've got to allow your body and brain time away from sweetness. You cannot do that if you continue to feed yourself keto-friendly sweets. There are certain sweeteners that are not easily digested by your body, namely sugar alcohols and allulose. Because of the unique way your body handles these additives, food manufacturers can subtract them from the food's total carb count. This lower net carb count allows a food to be labeled as keto-friendly. The challenge is that the treats are still sweet. Keeping these foods in your diet keeps your craving for sweetness alive. So it might feel like you are harmlessly satisfying a craving when you eat a keto-friendly dessert or snack. However, doing so can end up sabotaging your diet when faced with temptation. We celebrate a major holiday, birthday, or special event every month. We celebrate with cookies, cakes, and candies. If you are keeping your sweet tooth alive by eating keto-friendly sweets, you will need to rely on willpower to say no during these celebrations, which is not only uncomfortable, but also unreliable. And this ties into the next low-carb food fail, which is not planning ahead. The world we live in is not set up for low-carb dieting. There is a pizza parlor in every town, and coffee shops don't make a living selling black coffee. They make a living selling sugary cafe lattes. When you go on a low-carb diet, it pays to plan ahead to make sure that you have what you need to feel satisfied. A next day planning sheet is one of the tools I use in my Freedom Weight Loss program. By simply asking yourself a few questions in the evening, such as, will there be an event tomorrow that serves sweets or desserts? And if so, how can I handle it? You can prevent stepping into a situation that catches you off guard. If you are interested in my Freedom program, you can learn more about it at my website, drbeckyfitness.com. The program has all of the tools you need, from the planning guide to low carb and keto meal plans to our members forum, which is where I am very active in answering questions. So I will provide a link in the description area if you would like more information about the program. Another food mistake that I see, especially with low carb dieters, is too little food intake. When you reduce the number of carb grams you consume, particularly refined carbs, you stabilize your blood sugar. And this is a good thing because it prevents the blood sugar peaks and crashes that drive hunger and cravings. This hunger control is rewarding, and it's one of the reasons that intermittent fasting works so well with low-carb diets. However, it can also become a temptation to push yourself hard and severely limit your food intake in hopes that it will get you to your goal faster. This can backfire, causing you to binge or feel out of control. It can also slow your metabolism if you continue to severely restrict your food intake. Low-carb diets work, but you will be much happier with your results if you look at low-carb dieting as a lifestyle. When you do, you learn how to listen to your body and recognize true physical hunger, which is a time when your body needs nutrients. Another mistake that is easy to fall into is putting convenience over consistency. John Ashraf is a motivational speaker who is known for asking his audiences if they are interested or committed. He states that when you're interested in doing something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you are committed to doing something, you do it no matter what, even when it is inconvenient. It is not convenient to say no to the restaurant's breadbasket and dessert menu, but when you take side steps and give in to temptations, you will be frustrated with your results and find yourself going around the same mountain month after month and year after year. For many people, consistent effort is the key that unlocks the benefits. When you consistently eat a low-carb diet, your body gets the hint and it creates the enzymes and metabolic pathways it needs to efficiently run on fat. And this is where you want to be, because when enough energy is not coming in from your diet, your body easily taps into body fat, giving you the results that you want. Switching to a low-carb diet has been a game changer for many people, but as with any goal, you have to stay in the game to reap the benefits. If you'd like help staying on track, I encourage you to visit my website, drbeckyfitness.com, and check out my free resources as well as my Freedom Weight Loss program that provides you with all of the tools you need to avoid the 5 low-carb mistakes discussed in this video. Thanks so much for watching. Please click the subscribe button before you go, as well as the bell icon to receive a notification when my next video is released. Until then, have a great week.